Super Smash Brothers. No, it's not a convention of gay men actually having a lot of coitus. No, it's something much more drastic than that. It's a video game that includes many Nintendo IPs and many IPs from a bunch of other games. Bayonetta, Kazuya, Steve from Minecraft, one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's a great way to play with your friends if you just want to have a fun party game. Initially, Poise is a party game. There are tournaments now, going to and fro at gaming shops. Now, I have hazmated many gaming shops before. I've never wanted to go to many gaming shops simply because of the fungal odor, the fecal matter that fumigates within the air. I've been thinking about this for days, weeks, and months on end. I actually ostracized myself from going to any of them because the last time I went, there was a streak of just stool right on a chair. Messed me up deeply, and a guy tried to rip my Yu-Gi-Oh card as I was trying to learn how to play in person. I'm pretty good at Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel, but I was trying to learn how to play in person because I don't understand how it operates in person. It was very disgusting. I didn't like it. I have a lot of horror stories from that moment in time, but my friend had been begging me, he'd been messaging me over and over again saying, "Hey man, you're pretty decent as we're Smash Brothers, and I think you could clean shop at this place that has a $500 prize pool." $500. That used to be 500 McChickens. That's currently 500 cans of Arizona at a gas station. That is outstanding. I'm over the moon. I'm under the moon. I'm the black man on the moon. I'm about to go there and high-five the cow. Let's get it on and cracking. So I proceed to get on my Sunday best, get all ready. I make sure I wear a mask and glasses because I don't want anybody to notice that I'm black, but I forget that my skin is just kind of on my body. So I proceed to go there, and I see a large cavalcade of cars. I see a bunch of cars, none of them giving me any obvious signs, but then I see two cars that gave me a little bit of a warning sign. I should have known. I should have used my precognition, should have used my observation hockey to know as soon as I saw a car that had anime girls with their big mammaries out, something was going to be crazy afoot. The second car I saw was, I don't know how to describe this, it was Ahegao faces, the faces, those faces, the Belle Delphine face, you may know it that way. It really threw you for a loop. To just have that on your car plastered forever is a little bit strange. Now, if you've ever been to an anime convention, maybe you've seen one of these cars before, but it actually threw me for a loop. Didn't really suspect that. Really messed up my entire week and day and ruined my stomach and chest. I don't like seeing provocative nature things out in the public like that, especially in a place where potentially kids could be around. It makes me just sick to my stomach. So I proceed to enter this domain, and as soon as I entered, a gust of wind, as if Avatar Aang hit me in Avatar mode, I was getting pushed back. The door itself was warning me. It's a very heavy door. The wind hit me, and throughout my nostrils, all of my nose hairs completely singed, completely annihilated. My body almost recoiled at the exact moment I opened the door. It was disgusting. I had every single second of it. I look left, right, up, down, quarter circle forward, and I see a man, probably about 350, maybe 500 pounds wet is what I'm guessing because all the hair on his body. He wipes his nose like this and says, "Hey." I said, "Hey, what's going on?" This man smelled pleasant, actually. It was confusing. He smelled very pleasant. He just was, I think he was having allergies at the current moment. Very pleasant smell on him. So I stayed close to him. I stayed within the vicinity of him because he had a gravity around him that his smell was fumigating within. I think he was using very feminine floral scents, which was very nice. Very nice smelling big man. However, I go close to the Smash Bros room in a heat, a haze, as if I was in the middle of the desert. My vision blurred. The lines in the air waved ever so slightly. I was very taken aback. I didn't know what was about to happen. I didn't know what was going on. I enter this area, my hand burning and singeing. I could feel the skin ripping from my body. I could feel me losing a small essence inside of my soul. I could feel something shifting within the cosmic earths. I could feel the longitude and latitude getting shifted. I was in the Berenstain universe instead of the Berenstein universe. The cornucopia was back on the Fruit of the Loom logo. I was getting Mandela affected simply by walking through, entering a cosmic shift within the radiation rays. I wanted to Thanos snap all of them, not even just half. I need to take these people out because they don't deserve to exist within the vicinity of this earth. I was very angry. So I see my friend. He's just fumigating in it. He says, "Hey, what's going on?" High fives me. Boom. My hand is weak from the smell, so I recoil ever so slightly as if I'm shooting a gun. And he says, "Are you okay? Are you a little bit weak?" I said, "Don't worry about it. I had surgery on my foot." "What's going on? Where are we going?" I, at this moment, am trying to breathe only through my mouth. Just trying my best to try not to do that, but I forget that I could taste it. I accidentally let my guard down when I took a seat because I get into a relaxed stance when I took a seat, but I tasted the air within the area. And there was one guy in a mask and a tactical suit going crazy with Fox, and it was absolutely outstanding. His gameplay was immaculate. The way he edge guarded was good, and I could tell that he was probably edging under that seat because he was a furry, and I could feel something kind of provocative about him. And he stood up, and I just saw sweat coming down his back. And as he walked over, I could see sweat on the chair. And as I go over to the sign-up sheet, I see that there's stains all over the sign-up sheet. A little bit concerned, a little bit confused. I grabbed the pen. They said, "Oh, not that one." I said, "Huh? Don't use that pen." I said, "Why?" "Look at it." The pen had been chewed on. It's a little bit confused. They said, "Yeah, sorry, we have a guy here that comes by and chews on the pens. Use the pencil." I said, You just have a guy, you gonna ban him, or we gonna do something about this, or we're just gonna let this happen? This is just something that regularly, casually happens within this area, in this vicinity? No, yeah, he's just fine. He just chews on the pens. Oh, he chews on them for fun? For love of the game? This is just fun for him? He said, yeah, this is his thing. Oh, his thing is chewing. Okay, sorry. Every human's thing is chewing. We masticate. It's how we enjoy food. We use our molars and chomp down. We use that to break it down so our stomach has an easier time, especially with whole foods. It's very nice to do so. Pen's not a food. I don't know if you know that. It might be. Maybe we didn't get the memo. Maybe we didn't understand. Maybe we didn't go to chemistry and biology. Maybe we didn't grasp what happens if ink explodes inside of your tummy. That could actually mess you up really bad. And I just perhaps was just in a different world at this point. So I grabbed the pencil, signed my name. I'm waiting in a tournament bracket. Everybody's talking to me. Yeah, I'm waiting for this. And I could tell in his mouth when he was speaking to me, he had something in his bottom permanent retainer. Some guy was speaking next to me. He thought I was cool, so he just started talking up next to me. And I gotta respect the charisma it takes. I do respect the pride and ego, maybe it's the gumption, I would say. I'm not sure what vocabulary term I can use for this, but it's some level of, I say, less social anxiety. Oh, what am I looking for? Social machismo. I'll say that. The social machismo to approach me, not knowing me, and simply saying, "Hey, it's cool to see a black guy here," and going for a dap up. And have you ever seen anybody reject a dap up? Have you ever seen anybody do that? Because it's a very fun phenomenon. I just kept my arms crossed and looked at him like this. I said, "Hey." He said, "Sorry, I didn't mean to do that." And I said, "Don't act pathetic. Don't act pathetic after I rejected it. I don't know you. I'm sorry, I just don't know you." He said, "That's fine, that's fine. I'm Carl." I said, "Carl?" I've never met a Carl in real life, by the way. This was the first time this has ever happened to me before. Just want to point that out. It seems like a common name, but I've never physically met a Carl. I know of Carls, but I've never met a Carl. So I said, "Oh, pleasure to make your acquaintance, Carl." I didn't shake his hand or anything like that. And thank God I didn't, because there was something on his hand. I couldn't tell what it was. It was something wet. I don't know if it was sweat. I don't know if it was a ball of cat hair. I'm not sure what it was. It was something abstract. It was something aberrant. Definitely something eldritch in nature. I couldn't actually figure out what it was. But we were standing there watching the matches, and I got to test out commentary for the first time, which is very nice. I've been practicing my commentary on matches. They love my commentary. They said I was good at analyzing the matches, good at my predictive spacing, good that I was good painting a picture and a story with my commentary. Very happy. I've been practicing on stream with commentary. Very happy about that you guys helped me out with that. So I was practicing commentary, and then it was my turn to get up there and battle with everybody else. I picked Little Mac. Now, Little Mac is one of the bottom tier characters in the game. He's not that good at the game. He's really not. He has no air game, no control spacing. He doesn't know how to do anything. Horrible against zoners. If you grab him and then back air him off the thing, he loses immediately. It's really nothing going on there. You're not going to win with Little Mac. I won. These people were not as good as I thought. I could tell that I was going to clean shop here immediately. It was going to be easy work. And so my friend said, "See, I told you could win." I said, "Yeah, thank you." Now, throughout this whole time, I'm pretty sure I had gone nose blind to the entirety of the smell. And I think that's what everybody else happens with them. That's what happens with everybody else. They just go nose blind. They go Stevie Wonder inside of their nostrils. They go Ray Charles inside of their, what's the amygdala? What's it called? It's umami, the gustatory receptors, the ones that are responsible for your taste, the gustatory receptors. That's what it's called. They were actively just gone. I couldn't even fathom it. I was, I can't smell. I can't taste. I have COVID in here. It's great. This is perfect. So happy. Very good. Made the entire experience a lot easier to go through until I get to, I believe, quarterfinals. Before the semifinals, I get to there, and this guy, I had not seen him throughout the entire tournament, and that's because, and this is gonna sound crazy, I thought he was a piece of furniture. Now this is gonna sound nuts to say, and it's gonna sound very disrespectful. He had not moved the entire time any of his matches went through. He had been sitting in a specific chair about 2, maybe 3 feet back from the left, and he had been wearing clothes that made him look like a couch, and he was very dark and black. I didn't know he was a person in the thing. I thought he was a feature of the background. I thought he was just a piece of the back rooms. I thought he was a still life. He said, okay, yeah. I said, huh? What the? Caught me off guard. What's crazy, this is the crazy part. He wasn't even like overtly like large or obese in any capacity. He just was very easily blending into the background. He was just camoed up. I didn't really suspect that. I said, okay. He said, okay. I sit down, and for the first time he says, wait, I know you. I've seen your face before. I said, no, you haven't. You've never seen my face. I forget often that I have a presence on the internet. I always forget this. When I go out in public, I never factor that in. I never do. So he says, yeah, I know you. Cyril's TV? I said, nope. I just lied right to his. I said, nope. If you see this video, boom, it was me. He said, yeah, you look like this guy. Hold on. You look like this YouTuber I watch. Never mind. Just don't worry about it. I said, okay. I played this man. He beats me first round. He picks Link. I picked Little Mac. There was no way I was winning that. He was insane. He kept zoning me. He kept pressuring me heavy crazy. He kept tossing bombs on the screen. He kept hitting me with arrows. It was absolutely schizophrenic the way all the visual noise was on screen. There was no way I could win that match. So I said, okay, switched up my character. I pick Link. I say, okay, cool. Pick Link. This is my secondary. Just gonna go ahead and play the game. I beat him because I'm a better Link. I beat him with Link. Nobody has seen my Link. They didn't know what was going on. They said, oh, he doesn't just play Little Mac. He plays Link. Oh, my goodness. It's a Link to the past. I could hear the commentary going crazy. I could hear them. They were having a great time. They were going nuts. Look at that arrow. Oh, my goodness. Look at that neutral B. Oh, he doesn't know what to do. It's a ditto. It's a ditto. Somebody call Ass Ketchum. It's a ditto. I said, this is good. Whoever's commentating over there is really enthusiastic. I was over the moon about it. And I was actually having a really good time. And then he turned towards me, and I saw that I think he had periodontal disease. If you don't know what periodontal disease is, it's when all your teeth have, your gums receding and it's spacing. He turned and breathed I can only describe it as a Oscar the Grouch-ass stench. A stench so ferment. A stench so repugnant maybe. It was just, it felt very decaying, as if something in his mouth was decaying. I didn't want to smell that. He said, thanks for the match. Which is crazy, because all those words don't require any breath. Thanks for the match? Not a single word required breath. If he said, hey, I can see an H requiring breath, but none of those words required any amount of breath. And still, somehow, I got a small whiff of it, and I rushed to the bathroom and threw up. And I had not eaten much, so it was just acid coming through my teeth. It was disgusting. Oh my god. I get to the semifinal rounds, and I ended up wrecking shop there. Nobody had a really fungal smell there. It was really crazy. I get to the final rounds. I actually ended up coming in second place because my friend won first. Second place was $200, and top place was $500. So that was pretty cool. And then you could actually get a gift card instead of $200, or Amazon gift card for $350. So I ended up getting that Amazon gift card because $200 is probably gonna be used on Amazon regardless, and I would just get an extra $150 on that. So I was very happy about that. Then I leave the venue, and I've forgotten what fresh air smelled like. Oh my god, the birds were chirping, the sky was blue, everything was phenomenal. I could feel my bones get rid of their rigor mortis. I could feel it in my body, bone, spirit. My soul was elated. I had achieved nirvana. Buddha gave me his belly so people could rub my belly. I had lost all of my hair and had been satisfied with the state of hairlessness that I had gone through. I had seen my past lives. They had come and coagulated into my body. I had all the memories of my deja vu cells from every parallel universe. I could feel all of them coagulating because the instant I hit the outside air, freshness hit. This is what it means to truly go outside and touch grass. This was the moment that I was waiting for. This was my magnum opus. I knew that this exact moment, this was gonna make my week. I was happy. And I think I'm probably gonna try to go to another Smash Bros convention. Maybe I'll bring some Febreze, maybe, but I'm gonna try to go to more local events in Michigan and try my best to get better at fighting games, because the best way to get better is locals. I had ostracized myself from these groups and communities simply by virtue of the stench, but I feel as though I should, if people can do it, so can I. If other people can do it, then so can I. I'm just a little baffled by the stench of everything. But let me know your experience down in the comment section down below of you guys experiencing perhaps a scent or smell in these game rooms, because I feel like I'm not the only one. You say I'm crazy, like you don't think I know what you've done, but when you call me, I know I'm not the only one. I know. Anyways, have a lovely day or night wherever you're at, and I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your Nick and night, be my Laurel, slow. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.